So I've talked about recruiters in the past, and they are generally something that you're going to have to deal with as a software development engineer. But if you are a hiring manager, it's even more important that you be kind to them. And this quote from a recruiter on LinkedIn that I've copied and pasted because I don't want to name names, YouTube doesn't let me do that, uh, is why. Okay. And to quote the recruiter here, my favorite line for dealing with terribly rude executives was, I'm either filling your parking lot or emptying it. If they continue to be rude, I would indeed make it my mission to empty out that parking lot and fill their competitors. End quote. This is more important than ever. Filling the parking lot of the company isn't that big of a deal anymore because of the pandemic and everything's remote now. But one of the things you have to understand is that the FTC in America has actually banned non-competes. And so as of September 4th, recruiters are either in your pocket and helping you or they're helping your competition. There's literally nothing stopping them from poaching your employees and offering them a better deal at that point. And so if you're a hiring manager or you own a company, be very nice to recruiters because any kind of agreement that they not compete with you or not poach your people will be illegal after September 4th, is my understanding of that, based on what I'm being told by recruiters who are exceptionally happy at the idea of not having to worry about non competes with other staffing agencies anymore. Now, I am not a recruiter. I am not a staffing professional. I do not work in HR. I have worked in HR in very weird roles as a software development engineer, working on applicant tracking systems, back in HR integrations, and other kinds of software. But I don't work as a HR professional because I am not an extrovert. And so when I see quotes like this by actual so called global recruitment leaders, it makes me smile because if you're rude to a recruiter, they will literally poach every single person at your company. And you should understand that we're all on LinkedIn. All they have to do is look you up, see the company you're with, see that it matches the company that they're angry at, and at that point they're contacting you about what they think is a better job. And if it's not a better job, guess what? You're going to have a discussion with them anyway. You're going to tell them if it's a better job, and they're going to keep trying. And so I definitely think that if you are being rude to recruiters and you are a hiring manager trying to fill a role, or you are otherwise refusing the people that the recruiter is trying to send your way, you are setting yourself up for failure. Don't lead on recruiters. Don't be intentionally rude to them. It doesn't matter if you're an executive, a hiring manager, or anything. As a software development engineer or somebody in tech, you should understand that the game has changed. It used to be that recruiters could just send you your resumes and help you fill your spots, and that was it. Why? Because the companies could lock them down with non compete agreements, anti poaching agreements, and other things that amount to non-compete agreements, which are now going to be banned as of September 4th. When that happens, if that happens, because let's face it, we don't know if it's really going to happen or not, the landscape will change. I have a number of recruiter people I know who have flat out stated that if that happens, they are quitting their job or starting another thing on the side, and they will be competing and poaching as needed. This is great, not only for tech, but because there's going to be a group of people, aka the recruiters, actively going out of their way to stir up stuff. And that's why the people don't want the non competes banned, because there's an actual group of people out there that will make more money by starting stuff and helping with competition and helping companies compete for better wages and hiring and everything else. And so if you're looking at this quote and smiling, well, so am I, because I once worked at a company that was on the receiving end of this. We were okay as a company, but the executive was really rude to a recruiting professional. That recruiting professional reached out to every single one of us because they didn't have a contract not to. Okay. we lost over half our team before we figured out what was going on. So, I've seen this in action.